Tonight, the Toronto Raptors have the 29th and 59th overall pick in the NBA entry draft. So, with those picks, who should the Toronto Raptors add to their roster? Let's get into it. Welcome to Amateur Sports, where 900 subscribers is just on the horizon. We've had a very good month. Thank you so much for the support that has been coming in. I am very much appreciative of anybody who did click that subscribe button and anybody who wants to join the movement of the channel and help us get to 900 subscribers. If you like what you see in today's video, you want more of myself talking about these Toronto Raptors, make sure you do, in fact, hit that subscribe button down below. But on to today's topic, we're talking about the NBA draft. The Raptors finally have a first-round pick to use, and I don't think I've ever been more excited for an NBA entry draft than for this one. I mean, last year, kind of boring. You knew Zion Williamson was going to go first, but this year, there's a lot of excitement in that top three, in that top five of where people are going to go. And I'm excited for the Raptors because I think they can really land a good player with this 29th overall pick. I'm going to go through 6 very good options at the 29th pick slot and who I think they should take. And I'm going to give you one of the options I think they should consider at the 59th spot. Quickly, before we start, I want to give you my rundown of who I think is going to go in the top 5 and in what order. I think number 1, the first pick to the Minnesota Timberwolves is going to be Anthony Edwards. I just think he complements D'Angelo Russell a lot more than LaMelo Ball. Obviously, they don't need a center in James Wiseman, so they're going to draft Anthony Edwards. They have Cat, so they don't need Wiseman. They have D'Angelo Russell, so they don't need LaMelo. Number 2, I think that the Warriors should take James Wiseman because they've got all the other pieces they need. They have 2 fantastic guards in the Splash Brothers. They've got Andrew Wiggins. They've got Draymond Green. Round that 5 off with James Wiseman. Number 3, Charlotte. I think that the best player available there is LaMelo Ball. Maybe not their ideal candidate. They probably would rather have one of James Wiseman or Anthony Edwards, but because LaMelo Ball would be available, I think they should take him there. Number 4, Denny Avdia. He brings a lot of great stuff, a lot of great ball handling, playmaking. I think Billy Donovan would love to use this guy with the Chicago Bulls. And number 5, Obi Toppin. I think he would make a great asset to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now on to the Raptors specific side of this video. Let's get into these picks for real. Now we're going to start with, I would like this guy the best. This is my number 1 guy for that 29th overall pick if we can manage to get him there. And that man is Tyler Bey. Tyler Bey is a 6'7" wing, can play as a 2, can play as a 3. 6'7", you'll love his size, averaged about 14 points per game for Colorado, shoots decently efficient, and the biggest thing, the All Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. He is fantastic on defense, has a great wingspan, obviously, great height, but can still shoot the ball very efficiently from the field. His projected NBA three-point percentage could use a bit of work, but the defensive things are already there. You can work on three-point percentage. Three-point percentage, it comes with age. So you work on his other assets of the game that can help benefit the Toronto Raptors, and then you can work on those shooting aspects. But already, it's still a decent three-point percentage. It's fine. It just can be better when it comes to the NBA. But all of the defensive schematics are there. I'm very much liking Tyler Bey at this 29th slot. Any defensive stat, he's fine with. He's great at blocks. He's great at steals. His defensive plus minus is very good. He's just got everything you'd like on defense. He can put the ball in the basket. The one thing maybe you can talk about is draft age. He's a bit older, having played 3 years at Colorado. Also maybe turns the ball over a little bit more, but again, that's something you can work on. And draft age, I mean, if you can get a guy that you know what he brings, you don't need to worry about developing him, it's not exactly a loss. You know what you're going to get from Tyler Bey, and I think he's a great selection here with the 29th overall pick. Second guy I like at this spot is Malachi Flynn, another defensive player of the year, this time in the Mountain West Conference. You'll see a bit of a trend when it comes to myself liking these guards who can play defense, because that's what I think the Raptors should take here. They should go for some guard depth and get a guy who can play some solid defense as well to fit into their scheme. And Malachi Flynn is a guy who can do just that. A very good court facilitator, very good passer of the basketball, can put the ball in, can shoot the 3 very well. One thing, maybe a drawback, is the fact that he's only 6'2". He's a little bit undersized for a guard, but can play in both those guard positions. The Raptors have done a good job in hiding point guards who lack a bit of size and still being able to produce great results with them on defense. You see that in Fred VanVleet, of course. Do the Raptors want to take another guy like that to put in the roster? I would rather get Tyler Bey, but Malachi Flynn has so much good things about his game that you kind of have to take him if he's available there, in my opinion. Almost 18 points per game at San Diego State, and he shot very efficiently. Another drawback for him is the fact that he is in his 4th year at the collegiate level, so maybe a bit older, but again, you know what you're going to get out of him, so is it worth the risk? I think so. Again, he is undersized, so I would rather Tyler Bay, but Malachi Flynn, another great option here. Third choice on my list, in fact, some people have this guy projected to go to the Raptors in some mock drafts. Trey Jones out of Duke. Again, a little bit undersized. He's about 6'2", 6'3", but another combo guard, another very good defensive player. In fact, the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. So first 3 guys on my list, all defensive players of the year. Trey Jones shoots the ball well. He defends the ball very well. Again, a little bit short, but the Raptors know how to hide those undersized guards. Probably know a lot about Trey Jones at this point, having played for such a high-profile school in Duke. I think he would add some good stuff to the Toronto Raptors. Again, size is a bit of a problem and a bit of volume shooting for Trey Jones, but playing in a very competitive conference, maybe that hindered him a little bit. I think this would be a great option because of what he brings on the defensive end, and you can work on that stuff on the offensive end when you're playing in such a great system offense like the Toronto Raptors. We're going to move away from the guards now. I would like to take a guard who can play great defense and shoot the 3 ball decently well. Those 3 guys, Tyler Bay, Malachi Flynn, and Trey Jones, all fit that bill. But if the Raptors want to go for a big, maybe they have some information that we do not have about Serge Ibaka returning, and maybe they want to get a big for the long-term future, I have some 2 options here that I think would fit the bill for that to round off who I think they could take in the first round, starting with Zeke Naji. A lot of mock drafts, again, have this guy going to the Toronto Raptors. He is a 6'10" big who lacks a little bit on defense because of his size. However, he shoots the 3 ball very well for his size. And the Raptors, you know, the Raptors love a big who can spread the floor and shoot the 3 ball, and this guy is exactly that. This is a one-and-done college player, so a lot of room for growth, a lot of room for potential. Already averaged 16 points a game for Arizona in his 1 year and was the Pac-12 Rookie of the Year. A lot of upside for this guy. You do need to work a lot on his defense, and I think for that reason, he may not quite be NBA ready at the start because he'll just get bullied on the interior. But if you want to work on this project, maybe you can work on this guy. I think I'd rather go for one of those guards I talked about earlier, but this is a great option for the Toronto Raptors, a big who can spread the floor. The last guy I'm looking at for our first round selection, another big, Isaiah Stewart. Isaiah Stewart's another big, but he's not a center this time. This one's a power forward. He stands at about 6'9", played for Washington in the Pac-12 last year, and Isaiah Stewart was the 3rd-ranked high school player coming into last season behind Anthony Edwards and James Wiseman. But Isaiah Stewart's fate in the collegiate level was not quite the same as those 2 other guys. So for that reason, Isaiah Stewart can slip all the way to the end. A late first-round pick. It was inconceivable about a year ago. But Isaiah Stewart, having played for a 15-17 Washington team who really struggled, Isaiah Stewart was a shining light. But not getting those wins definitely affects your draft stock. And the Raptors, maybe if this guy slips, because you know we had all that untapped potential from about a year ago. Can the Raptors do a job in finding that untapped potential? I think that perhaps they can do that, but getting a power forward, when you have Pascal Siakam playing in that position already, maybe you want to move Pascal Siakam to the 3, but you got OG Anunoby. Maybe if you want to take a stab at Isaiah Stewart to be a good backup option, you can do that. Got 17 points per game, good efficiency on his 2-pointers, but not very good efficiency on his 3-pointers. Just, I think that this is an option because of that untapped potential that he could not realize in his first year at the collegiate level. I think Isaiah Stewart could have probably done well with a second year at that university level, but you know, he's in this NBA draft. He's got that potential. You know, there's a reason he was a 3rd-ranked player coming out of high school. Can the Raptors take a stab at this guy if he's available? Maybe, but I would much rather have the other 4 guys I've listed so far. So that will wrap up who I think the Raptors should take with their first-round pick. Now, I have one guy on my list for that second-round pick, and I think the Raptors, if he's available, should take Devin Dodson. Some mock drafts have him going earlier than the Raptors. Some have him going around where the Raptors to pick. Some mock drafts don't even have this guy getting drafted. But Devin Dodson, another guard, 6'2", combo guard, very good defensively, can work a bit on his scoring at the higher level, but still average 18 points per game with the Kansas Jayhawks. What you like about him is the defense. You can work on those offensive things. I don't know how many guys are going to be really considering Devin Dodson. I'd be surprised to see him get to the Raptors, though. But this is a guy the Raptors have worked out already. Tyler Bey is another one they worked out. I really like Tyler Bey and Devin Dodson for the Toronto Raptors in this draft. They're two guys the Raptors have already worked out. I would be very happy to come out of this draft with those two guys. The Raptors also apparently worked out Malachi Flynn, who I definitely would be happy with as well, and Theo Maledon. I didn't talk about Theo Maledon that much. He was playing in France last season, struggled a little bit, wasn't really fulfilling his potential, so I'm not particularly interested in drafting him. Maybe the Raptors will, but for me, I think they would much rather be suited for Tyler Bey, Malachi Flynn, or Trey Jones at that guard position. Would be happy to get Devin Dodson as well, who they worked out, like I said, but if everything goes the way I want it to go, how I think they should do this, Tyler Bey falls to 29, but, again, it's about the guy falling to that position. I gave you 3 good guard options that I hope one of them is still available when it comes to the Raptors selection. And in the second round, if Devin Dodson is still available, go for that guy. But concentrating on the first round, I'm wishing for that Tyler Bey spot. So that wraps it up. I gave you my top 5 selections for the NBA draft in order. I also gave you who I think the Raptors should be considering for that 29 spot, as well as who I think they should be taking with that selection. Let me know in the comments down below who you think the Raptors should take with that 29th overall pick. Why you think they should take him, the position you think they should take. I really like getting a defensive guard who can learn to shoot the 3 very well and be kind of a 3-and-D guy off the bench. I would be very happy to get that out of tonight's draft. I wish I could have made this video yesterday. I just didn't have the time, so it's out now. Please enjoy it. But that wraps it up from me. Please, if you are still here, like the video if you like, and subscribe to Amateur Sports for more content just like this. NBA content with a focus on the Toronto Raptors 4 days a week. We are so close to 900 subscribers. Make sure if you really did enjoy the video, hit that subscribe button for more content just like this. Thank you again. At the end of the day, I believe what I say. If you disagree, that is okay. We'll see you again next time for another video.